and welcome to the Stratford Public Schools Technology Department's Digital Learning Series, Tech Tuesday. Today's session is all about the Digital Citizen Standard, which is Standard 1.2 of the Connecticut Digital Learning Standards, based on the ISTE standards. This session is designed to give you concrete, actionable strategies and tools that you can use in your classroom to help your students understand their role in digital communities. Our goal is to use technology to fundamentally shift our students into becoming positive, responsible contributors online. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll dive deep into the Digital Citizen Standard, breaking it down into its 4 key indicators. We'll explore strategies and tools for each one, and then we'll talk about how to implement these ideas in your classroom. We'll finish with a look at all the resources available to you. Think for a moment about the digital world our students inhabit. It's not a separate place. It's a seamless extension of their lives, socially, academically, and personally. The biggest difference between the physical world and the digital world is that their actions online leave a permanent, traceable digital footprint. We're moving away from a model that simply dictates, "Don't break the rules," a restrictive focus on safety, and into a model where we inspire them to build a positive culture. Our role is to help students become conscious contributors, guiding them in recognizing their responsibility to be empathetic, intentional about their digital health, and proactive in protecting their privacy. We are shifting them from being passive inhabitants to active, ethical shapers of their digital communities. The CT Digital Learning Standard Digital Citizen is a powerful one. It states, students recognize the responsibilities and opportunities for positively contributing to their digital communities. This standard is a call to action to help students take ownership of their presence. We want them to develop a keen awareness of their impact, understanding that their choices affect not just themselves, but their peers and the wider world. This standard is the foundation for all responsible digital behavior. Let's begin with our first indicator, 1.2, a digital footprint. This is all about helping students connect their online actions to their enduring digital identity. It's about empowering them to answer the big questions. What impression am I creating? How will this post affect my future self? And am I acting safely, legally, and ethically? A highly effective and simple tool for this is the questions feature in Google Classroom. This allows us to move away from chaotic comment threads and into focused, trackable discussions. You can post a scenario. For example, should you delete an embarrassing but harmless post from 5 years ago? As the question prompt. If you set the option to students can reply to each other, this forces students to respond to the prompt and then use the reply feature to respectfully debate the lasting impact on the digital identity. The responses are neatly organized, fostering structured peer-to-peer ethical reasoning. As the teacher, you can quickly grade their participation and provide personalized feedback directly on their specific answer. Let's take a moment while Dr. Eckler shows you the basics of setting this up in your Google Classroom.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to very easily create a question that students can respond to, not here in announcements, but actually in your classwork. So I'm going to go into my Google Classroom. I am going to go to classwork and I'm going to click create, and then I'm going to create a question. Now, this is going to be a bit different than if you were creating an assignment. Instead, this is actually a question that students can respond to. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a question from my digital citizenship scenarios here. So I'm actually going to provide a prompt. So let's say this, I'm going to use the high school one. And I'm going to put my question right in the questions part. And so now I can tell them if I want a short answer or multiple choice. I can assign it to all of my students if I want a small group. I can change the due date. If I had a topic, I can do a topic here. And then here I can set whether students can reply to each other or students can edit an answer. Now, since this is a digital citizenship lesson, I would absolutely want students to be able to reply to one another here. Now, as usual with any kind of Google Classroom assignment, you can just click this Ask button, or you can go ahead and schedule. You can also save your draft if you're not quite ready to finish just yet.
Our next indicator is 1.2b, online interactions. This is about helping students build their skills in respectful communication. It's about teaching them how to organize their thoughts and language to ensure they are empathetic and inclusive when they interact with others online. This can be as simple as helping them craft respectful critique or as complex as engaging in global collaborative projects. To ensure empathetic, inclusive interactions, we'll build directly on the Google Classroom questions feature we used for the digital footprint discussion. After a student posts their initial answer to a prompt, they will be required to reply to at least one peer using the tag protocol. When students hit reply to a peer's post, they must structure their response using TAG. T. Tell something positive. A. Ask a relevant question for clarification. And G. Give a constructive suggestion. This structured reply system teaches them how to be constructive, empathetic, and responsible contributors within a public digital space. Dr. Eckler is going to demonstrate structured TAG feedback on the questions posed in the first demonstration.
Now you'll see here I have the draft question I had started earlier, and I didn't post it because I realized that I wanted to make sure I provided my students with some directions on how to respond to one another. So I'm going to add here that this is a scenario for them to read, and then I'm going to say, please respond to at least 2 of your peers using the tag protocol, and I'm going to remind them of the tag protocol. This is something I obviously would have taught in class previously. I can format this up a little bit, make that bold as well. Maybe I want to add here, be sure to look for peers whose responses have no replies. There we go. And then I can go ahead and click ask. I'm going to see this, that it is going to ask me the question about whether or not it's available. Yes, I know it's in the stream immediately. And now I have this here. When students actually go ahead and do this, they'll be able to actually comment on it directly. They'll also be able to answer the question, and you will see their answers, and they will be able to reply to one another.
Next, we have 1.2.c Safeguard Wellbeing. This standard focuses on two key things: helping students be intentional about their online actions and teaching them self-regulation regarding screen time. This moves us beyond simply limiting access and into a world of digital mindfulness and personal health. CAM-E is a perfect tool for this indicator, used for self-reflection. If you provide students with a PDF article on the effects of excessive screen time or digital multitasking, they can use CAM-E to annotate and highlight key concepts. The powerful part is using the voice comment tool to record their own personal reflection. I will commit to putting my phone away at 8 p.m. This auditory commitment makes the reflection more personal and intentional than just typing text. You can review their recorded reflections to gauge their commitment to well-being. Dr. Eckler is going to show you how to use CAM-E to make a wellness reading interactive and record a voice comment.
Okay, I'm going to show you how you can have your students annotate this article for a digital wellness reflection. Now remember, we are providing you with 3 different digital wellness reflection articles: an upper middle high school one, an upper elementary middle school one, and an elementary one. This is the upper middle high school one. And so the first thing I would have my students do is ask them to use the highlighter tool and use the color green to identify any phrases or statistics that might surprise them as they're reading through. So I see here that this is a statistic, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight that in green. And now I have that. I would ask my students to make sure they save this, but since I would probably add this to my Google Classroom, it probably wouldn't ask them for that. It should just give them a copy right in CAM-E. And so now I might also ask them to use the text toolbox. So we're going to come here and we're going to add a text toolbox right here. And I'm going to ask my students at the top to define intentional digital use. You might use the terminology smart screen choices for our young students, or mindful swiping for our middle schoolers, but they would do this up here, and I would ask them to give it a blue background so it's obvious that that's my definition. And then the last thing I'm going to ask them to do is actually provide a voice comment. So I might have them add a little voice comment here. We're going to go ahead. It may or may not record me. We're going to allow it. Sometimes it doesn't record because I'm recording the video and it doesn't play it back. You can see here, I don't think it's actually recording me, but they would be able to record this. And then when they're done, they click stop. Let's check and see if it actually did anything. No, it didn't, because my microphone's not hooked up to Cami. My microphone's actually hooked up to my recording software. So I can't get that to work right now and show it to you, but they would just record right there. And then you'd be able to play it and you could actually reply to them. You could either reply to them with text, or you can do voice typing. And you could even, when you go in, add your own voice comments back to them. But this is a great way to have your students look at a article on digital wellness and provide that kind of personal commitment reflection that we talked about earlier.
Finally, we have 1.2D, digital privacy. This is about teaching our students to be proactive protectors of their personal information. It's about helping them understand fundamental concepts of data management and security, such as creating strong passwords, managing app permissions, and recognizing phishing attempts. It's our responsibility to help them move beyond just being cautious consumers to being savvy guardians of their own data. To help students articulate complex privacy concepts, use Google Slides to have them create a privacy setting tutorial project. Assign them a specific task, like explaining how to enable two-factor authentication or how to adjust photo location settings. They must use the multimedia features, screenshots, text, and animations in Slides to create a clear, step-by-step tutorial. This requires them to not only understand the privacy setting, but to be able to teach it, demonstrating competency in protecting their data. For exploring emergent security topics and concepts of personal data, Magic School AI is a fantastic tool. You can use the question generator and input the prompt. Create 5 complex, scenario-based questions for a 7th grade class on how data is harvested when they click I agree to terms of service. The AI quickly generates realistic, challenging questions perfect for class debate, ensuring your discussions stay relevant to emerging threats and concepts of privacy. This helps you quickly create high-quality, relevant learning materials. Ready to implement these ideas? You don't have to overhaul everything at once. Pick one of these strategies and try it with one unit or one assignment. For example, start by integrating the Google Classroom Questions feature for a quick ethical check-in this week. Once they're comfortable with that, you can add the tag protocol using the Google Classroom Assignment private comments. Or try using Cami's voice comment tool for personal reflection on a digital wellness reading. It's all about small, manageable steps that build a comprehensive culture of digital responsibility. All the materials for this session are available for SPS educators right now. We've included a customizable digital citizenship scenario, Google Docs template, a detailed guide to using CamE for digital wellness reflections, and a list of useful Magic School AI prompts for privacy and security lessons. SPS educators can check the Google Classroom for these tools. Thank you for joining us today and for your commitment to empowering your students. We look forward to seeing you at our next session, where we will dive into the Knowledge Constructor Standard.